Bought some canvases at the thrift store, painted canvases. So I'm consolidating somebody's previous work into mine. Even though I'm gessoing over these, well, rather amateur paintings, aren't we all, that I found at the thrift store in Ahihic. Somehow I feel like that work, the previous work, is, kind of like the way perhaps previous lifetimes, even though we don't remember them, might be part of what we experience in this one. So one hopes that that's a good thing. These paintings, I wouldn't want previous work to bring down my efforts, but to uplift them. So here's these are nice paintings, relatively nice paintings, but still, I paint over them. But these may be oil, and I can't tell for sure. If they are, then this gesso is not going to stick very well onto it. But I like these because they got the thick side. And the ground, they call it, I didn't know that for a long time, the ground is the background color. So I've got used to, over the years, because that's how I started, painting on black. It's just a historical accident. I got started painting on black canvases, but I'm not stuck with it, because I can do these, but there's no way I can paint on a white canvas anymore. I shouldn't say anymore, because I never have. I've tried to give it a try a few times, because I thought I would broaden my horizons or something. I just found it impossible. It's like the black canvas to me is like, it's like a universe that hasn't been formed yet, right? And then let there be light, kind of thing. So, insofar as the contents of a canvas goes, yeah, painter's kind of God. So, let there be light. Let there be something on there. Let there be some pink, some blue, whatever it might be. So far these look like it's going to work. But I got to make sure that I don't get paint on the ground here. So to be perfectly truthful with you, I had some trouble getting going here. Painting is a physical thing, and you can get out of practice and go rusty. And I have. It has to be a habit. So I was discussing this with a new friend, Laura, the other day. Is also a painter. And we were talking about getting started again. So it's like you just got to do it. Instead of 15 minutes, they gessoing canvases. And then they sit there. Then the plain gesso canvases just sit there, mocking you, challenging you. Like, over here is a painting you haven't painted yet. What will you do? So this ground, I like this kind of dusty rose, dusty pink background because it's in the middle range. It's like when I start with black, obviously that's starting at the extreme end of the range of light and dark. Starting at black, and so everything goes up from there. So this here is in the middle range. And so to get something black here, I have to have black, and to get something white, I have to have white. So it makes for a much softer canvas in my experience. So while I've got some paint on the brush, I'm just going to go ahead and finish gessoing these canvas boards. Now these are you can call these things practice, I suppose, but I've learned that you just never know. I could have a really expensive canvas, or one that I've lavished a lot of time and effort on getting ready, and paint just a dumb, kind of a not very good painting on it. And then I'll have a piece of cardboard, and I've got some paint left over on the palette, and I just want to clean off the palette and something on a piece of cardboard, it's like, oh, yeah. So you never know. You're constantly humiliated by artwork, I think, in a good way. Because it's like your ego needs that humiliation because it can fill itself up with all these ideas of what a great painter it is. But that is not the case at all. Ego basically has nothing to do with it. Nothing. That is, but it likes to play its own game. And there's no point in stopping it from painting the game. You just have to make sure that you're not captivated by it. This is starting to feel good, these Jessamine canvases. I've got some dry ones here, some stuff on black that I might just get going on because these will take a while to dry, obviously, to get ready for work. Look, here's one already penciled in, so I might just go ahead and do that. All right, I'm going to go clean this brush and get ready to work. Okay. Alright, I'm actually going to do some painting now. This is a revolution. This is something really, really big. Got this. It's got a cat and one of those stone heads on it. And I've got some paints, but not too many. Only got a few, actually. Let's see what we can do. So what I want to do is do some the rock tone. So that's white and yellow ochre. And some blue, maybe a little bit of green since I've got some. Kind of the mossy tone. And I'm going to grab some blue. This is a new local paint, Mexican paint. I haven't tried it yet. Looks pretty good. It's a nice blue. Alright, so now I'm going to grab the appropriate brush. What is that going on here? I'm going to mix some of this yellow ochre and some white and put a little blue on there because the blue mixes with that, gets a little green. And we're going to need a little red here. And some purple since that's what I grabbed. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Add that in there. Because, old rocks, it's a bunch of different tones mixed together, so they're not a solid tone. And so I do get a base going here, and then I start painting over here. So this has lines for the block construction of the face. I'm not going to do anything with that this time because it's kind of small painting. All I'm going to do is sketch in the eye. And give some little lips an outline. And I'll come in and do the line work later. So this little place has a green windowsill. Probably because the person who lives there just had a bucket of green. The person who lives there also has a black and white cat. Just starting to reveal itself. As you see. It's got one paw folded down under, the way they do. It's cute the way they do that. And here's the back side of this window, so I'm going to come in later and darken that up. because it's out of the light, so it's going to be darker than the part that's in the open window. That's the kind of extreme. I got a bunch of brushes in here, the length, the width of a human hair. So everything has to be exact with my painting. That's a joke. Alright, so it's got green windowsills. Because I got blue and purple over here, that's the color of the walls, right? That just happens to be the paint that's around. That's the way things happen. Now, I don't know. I hope you're finding this relaxing, because I am. It feels... I've been here, well, a month and a half, and it feels like forever, right? Because time is weird. Just as space is, but it feels like I've been here a long, long time, and that I've been wanting or needing, I'm not sure what the right word is, to get painting. And now I finally am. So that's a good thing. So I'll make this guy a deep, deep blue. Solid blue with some touches of whatever else is in the brush. Hear that horse? I love this neighborhood. There's horses, and cows, and chickens, and dogs, and everything out there. All right, so far, so I wouldn't say good, but you got to get started, right? So, and we're standing up, and my back hurts, and so forth. So. Out of that simple green that I have there, and I'm not talking about the popular cleansing product. I added a little bit of yellow ochre, and that kind of brings it to life a little bit and gives it the kind of randomness that real reality has, because you hardly look at anything except maybe the sky. Even that has a solid color. It's a mix of colors. And it's even farther, more so than we know, because it's a mix of colors that we can't even see. We see what dragonflies and birds and shrimp and stuff see. They see a whole world that we are not equipped to see because the receptors, we don't have those receptors in our eyes. That's another thing to introduce a little humility into our lives, because we don't know what the fuck's going on out there. There's always got to be a river coming and going somewhere. I don't know what this flat line is that I drew in here, but I'm following my instructions here. I guess I'll figure out what it is later. Maybe it's a deck or the patio or something out there. In which case, we'll make it dark purple. Why? Because I say so. That's why. It's my world, I'm saving up the black and white for the cat, right? That's going to be very exciting. It's going to be extremely exciting to go to the real extreme spectrums of light and dark. What do we got here, right? A river. The mountains need to be colored in. Mountains are often in a yellow ochre color, so yeah, a little white to that. Because the stone for this dictator's head probably came from those mountains, it's similar. Let's put a little snow up there because we want to. just to make us think of those days when there's a lot of snow on mountains. Which melts and goes down to feed this river here. River of New Return. Remember that movie? Marilyn Monroe and Robert Mitchum. Snake River. That makes me sad to think of that, because one of the things I most love to do in the world is drive, especially in the Southwest. And I never got into like Idaho and Montana and up there enough to suit me. Drove through there once, but it was an uncomfortable journey because of who I was traveling with. So I didn't really get to appreciate it the way I could have. And now that I've given up my car and driving and so forth, who knows? Life is long. Maybe I'll go hitchhiking up there someday. Alright, so now I got some black. I'm just going to do some line work here. Give it some drama, right? Some delineation. Now here you have to be bold. You can say, oh, that line's got to be such and so, right? You have to be bold the way real life is. Don't hold back. So the black cat. This black is not very strong. It's thin. What I want is a black that's heavy. Heavy, uncompromising black that blots out the sun. So I don't know what, I don't have the cat in front of me nor the drawing, so I'm just guessing as to where the white's going to be. But I know it's going to have this stomach here. And the butt's going to come up here. And it's in front of this face, so we can paint over that a little bit. Here's the leg. I don't know if my spiritual painting teacher, Bob Ross, because I should tell you right now, I am a fanatic practitioner of Bob Rossovism. I painted millions, or at least many hundreds of thousands of happy rivers and happy trees and happy rocks and happy streams and happy lakes and happy oceans and happy clouds and happy waves. Now this is not much of a cat. I was just going to say, that's why Bob Ross avoided painting living beings, I think, because he didn't want to offend them by painting them badly. Because, as he said, quite accurately, and he could paint a tree or a rock kind of any way it came out. You could go into the world somewhere and find a tree or a rock that looked like that, because they just come in all shapes, right? But living beings, especially human beings, you paint them wrong, and it's wrong. It's just wrong. And so my hat is off to those people who can paint human beings, make them not look wrong, but look like who they are and give them expressions and stuff like that. Okay, so maybe it's just a black cat. How do I know? Now we need some white. And this is a pair of socks that don't fit me, and I don't have any beat up old t-shirts yet to use to wash and clean my brushes. And that white is just outrageous. There's no white. There's not going to be any white on a dirty old, and over here on either. It's going to be all kinds of dirty air in between the snow and those mountains and our eyes. So this white is just wrong. Hi, Alfie. You gonna come in here, Alfie? Come on in. Let's paint some white on here because we want to. That doesn't look natural, does it? Have you ever seen a cat that had a white spot like that? I haven't. I think, Alfie. Oh, that's just wrong. But it is what it is, right? It's like a child. You can't just say, oh, dead child. But still, it's wrong, and you can see even this face. The ancient dictator is appalled by the coloring that I've put on this cat. And, understandably so. You can see I've gotten to this painting, the point in this painting where I've just gone, okay, fine. And I've given up on it. I'm admitting to you, actually, I've given up on this painting. I did what I could. But it's an exercise, right? But still, that white, we have to do something about that. I can't leave that way. That would be wrong. I can see right away I need more colors. Not too many more. The black is way too thin. I need something strong. Okay, it's a gray cat, fine. Fine, it's a gray cat, solid gray. That'll be easier to paint. And the ears need to be bigger. And it's kind of tilting its head, it's looking out over something. Maybe it sees a squirrel down there. It's got his paw tucked here. His paw's right here. It's very relaxed. Maybe its eyes are closed. The thing about painting is that, as you can see, I am not terribly concerned that this painting is not very good. And like good and bad. If you're thinking in those terms while you're painting, you're lost. But I can't help it. But I've done it so much that I don't care. So I know that there's gesso. There's gesso that could be put over this, or maybe somebody likes this painting. That's another thing I learned in my long career, is that who am I to say? There's paintings that I just, look, see, it's got like this kind of whitish, and then the hair, there's no cat that looks like that in the world, but still, this one does. And that's fine. It deserves its individuality. Don't you think? I do. So, there's it's alright, kind of. What are we to say? Alright, so we need some purple over, because that's what happens in the distance, right? The air turns everything purple, so a little purple wash. How advanced we are. It's called glazing, maybe, by the fancy painters that know what they're doing. And that's what the atmosphere of planet Earth, that's actually where this is. We don't know that for sure, do we? Would do to those distant mountains there. Okay, we're going to put a little black line on the river, because it looks like it's just starting from nowhere. We can fix that. Don't ever say that about a painting. Don't ever say what I just said, that you can fix that. You're in trouble when you start doing that. Now see, I messed it up. I was going to use another word. But now I'm going to fix the fix, which is, we're really in trouble now. But, it is what it is. The cat is fine with it. The cat thinks it's just, great. The cat has a life in this painting. It's looking out at this landscape going, this is a weird landscape, but it is where I live. So I'm not going to second guess it, says the cat. And, it's got strange, maybe it's got some kind of disease that gives its coat this strange pattern. But it is what it is. It deserves to live just like you do and I do. I'm not second guessing the way you look. Am I? No. There's a cat. See these lines? You can do a lot with these lines. Because it's almost like you're fooling the eyes. Look over here. Here's a line that just kind of makes it all work. If you're being generous with me. See? All right, fine. These lines here, see, those really wreck it, if I can say so much. The block lines, those are just. There's nothing realistic about this, but those are the worst. What those do is scream painting. They don't even let you fool yourself. Hi, Maxie. What is it, Maxie? All right. So I think we're done for today. This is my painting of the day. I'm going to sign it. 18. That's for Douglas Truth. And it is what it is. If you want to buy this, I'll sell it to you, but it's probably hard to ship things. Anyway, there it is. My painting of the day. First one in months and months and months and months. Since I left Massachusetts in September, maybe. I can't remember anything these days. All right. This is my hearing aid, if you're wondering. It used to go on a big post behind my head, and it got messed up and fell out. And so now I have to wear this funky workaround. Chulo, what are you doing? And this transmits the sound through vibrating through my skull, and it's, it works. Just like everything else, it's going down. All right. I wish you well. Kindness is always possible. And I hope this has been a relaxing watching me paint video. Take care. I've got to pet the dogs now.